Adam was not a man anyone would notice in a crowd. Every morning he woke up before sunrise, not because he wanted to, but because his mind refused to sleep any longer. The alarm clock would ring, but he was already awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything that felt wrong in his life. Bills were piling up. His job felt meaningless, and the dreams he once had now seemed like distant memories. From the outside, Adam's life looked normal. He had a small apartment, a stable job, and a routine that never changed. But inside his mind, a quiet storm was always brewing. Each day felt like walking through invisible resistance, like something in life was constantly pushing back against him. On the bus ride to work, he would watch people around him. Everyone looked busy. Everyone looked tired. And sometimes he wondered if they felt the same heavy feeling he carried every day, a feeling that life was harder than it should be, a feeling that something important was missing. But he never spoke about it, because suffering like this was invisible. The question that wouldn't leave. One evening after work, Adam walked home through the city streets. The sky was darkening, and the lights from shops and cars reflected on the wet pavement. People rushed past him, each person chasing their own responsibilities. But Adam moved slowly. His mind was stuck on a question he had been asking himself for years. Why does life feel like a constant struggle? He had tried many things: motivational videos, self-help books, advice from friends, but nothing really answered the deeper question inside him. Why did happiness feel so temporary while struggle felt constant? Why did every achievement seem to create new problems? Why did life feel like climbing a mountain that never ended? That night, instead of going straight home, Adam walked into a quiet park. He sat down on a wooden bench under an old tree, and for the first time in a long time, he simply sat in silence. The stranger. After a few minutes, Adam noticed someone sitting at the other end of the bench, an old man. His hair was gray, and his posture relaxed, as if he had nowhere urgent to be. He was simply watching the sunset, not checking his phone, not worrying about anything, just observing the sky. Adam felt strangely curious. How could someone look so peaceful in a world that felt so heavy? Almost without thinking, Adam spoke. "Life is exhausting." The old man slowly turned his head and looked at him, but instead of disagreeing, he smiled. "Yes," the old man said calmly, "it often is." Adam was surprised. Most people would try to give motivational advice, but the old man simply agreed, and somehow that made Adam feel understood. The tree. The old man pointed toward a nearby tree. "Do you see that tree?" Adam looked. It was tall, but its trunk was twisted and bent in strange directions. It didn't grow straight like the other trees. Storms had clearly shaped it over many years. "That tree grew through strong winds," the old man said. "Each storm pushed it. Each winter tested it." Adam nodded. "So?" The old man smiled again. "Without those storms, the tree would not be this strong." Adam looked again at the deep roots breaking through the soil. The branches stretched wide and powerful, and suddenly the tree looked different, not damaged, but shaped. "People misunderstand suffering," the old man continued. "They think suffering means something is wrong with their life, but suffering is part of the design." Adam frowned. "What do you mean?" The old man leaned forward slightly. "Pain is a signal. When you fail, life teaches you resilience. When someone rejects you, life teaches you independence. When things fall apart, life forces you to grow." Adam thought about the difficult moments in his life. the failed opportunities, the painful endings, the nights filled with doubt. Maybe those moments weren't random. Maybe they were shaping him, the same way storms shaped the tree. Scene 6. Everyone is carrying something. Adam looked around the park. For the first time, he noticed something strange. A young woman walked by, staring down on her phone with worried eyes. A father sat on a bench looking exhausted while his child played nearby. An elderly man slowly walked past them with careful steps. Everyone looked normal, but suddenly Adam realized something powerful. Every person here is carrying something invisible: stress, fear, regret, loss, dreams that hadn't worked out yet. Everyone was quietly fighting their own battles. The old man spoke again. "You are not alone in suffering. It is the most universal human experience." 7. The hidden gift. The sky had grown darker now. Streetlights flickered on. The old man stood up slowly. Before leaving, he said one final thing. "Suffering has a hidden gift." Adam looked at him. "What gift?" The old man smiled softly. "Suffering forces you to ask deeper questions. Without struggle, most people sleepwalk through life. But pain wakes you up. It makes you think. It makes you grow. It makes you search for meaning." 8. The change. After the old man left, Adam remained on the bench. The park was quiet now, but something inside him had shifted. His problems had not disappeared. His job was still stressful. His life was still uncertain. But the way he saw his struggles had changed. For the first time, Adam wondered, if these struggles are not obstacles, but lessons, what if life was not punishing him, but preparing him? 9. The new perspective. Over the next few weeks, Adam started noticing things differently. When work became stressful, he saw it as training for patience. When things didn't go his way, he treated it as practice for resilience. When life felt heavy, he reminded himself of the tree. Storms create strong roots. Slowly, the weight he carried began to feel lighter, not because life had become easier, but because he had become stronger. Months later, Adam returned to the same park bench. The tree still stood there, still twisted, still strong. And suddenly he understood something deeply. Suffering was never meant to destroy him. It was meant to shape him. Every struggle, every setback, every difficult moment, they were all part of the same process, the process of becoming wiser. And as Adam looked at the sunset, he finally understood the truth most people spend their entire lives avoiding. Pain is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your wisdom. Because hidden inside everyday suffering is the knowledge that transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary ones.